Hello and welcome to another video. Here we're playing some more high alacrity Concealment. I did have a different video planned, but I decided that, might as well continue with Concealment. I did have some questions about Concealment in the last video. Typically how you probably should open. Typically I like to run the crippling throw, or it's like crippling slice. I think they call it crippling throw with the talent. It used to be called crippling throw if you took the talent back in the day. I did open with that because it makes it impossible for them to turn the camera, and I don't want to blow my stun right away. This does mean that they can kind of counteract, but I also don't want to blow my stun. They just break like first stun. A lot of people will also open with their stun as well, so you don't want to overlap your stun. That's just the way I prefer to do it. It is a little greedy if players are pretty good and are pretty coordinated. I wouldn't probably do that, but typically that's just how I do it. Backstab, I believe is what they said they were used to. Typically you don't want to use backstab because you're using volatile strike. With volatile strike you're looking at volatile substance into felt strike into backstab. Get your basically triple auto crit window, or it's double auto crit window. This match goes pretty fast, and it's mostly just because the PT died without really popping Colto. It's not usually, or I guess he did pop Colto, he just got hit too hard or he hit into Reflect. I can't really tell exactly what happened there. I would go back and replay that, but it's ultimately not too important. Sometimes matches will just go that way, and they'll play a lot better this round. And I believe we're kind of split up a little bit too much. In a match like this, my best bet is to just try to do as much damage as I can, but also try to peel for the Juggernaut where I can. The problem is they have two different specs that are like way more mobile, and that's really a problem. And what I'm talking about is really the sniper and the Juggernaut. Like, I'm gonna have a hard time staying on target on them. They're both playing Virulence as well, or they're not both of them playing Virulence, but we have a lethality and a Virulence. That means there's a lot of slows. So in this situation, ideally I should be on the Jug if I'm able to. But the PT needs to die sooner, and that's my bad for not pressuring the PT as much as probably should have. We get that kill on PT a lot sooner. It would make that much of a difference. But unfortunately, that's just how that went, and in this situation, I should have probably ran with my team instead of trying to go for this, because I don't really have defensives. I just had the DR. And if I can't keep my uptime to get my DR stacks, I'm kind of squishy. So in this situation, it's really better that we probably kite and just heal the Marauder instead of doing what we did. Our Juggernaut kind of got screwed because, I'm over there 1v1ing Jug, but at the same time, two burst DPS still enough to kill the Juggernaut anyway. Unfortunately, I get stuck in combat as well through stealth, which definitely does not help me. I probably should have broke my stealth and just casted a Colto Infusion before my window disappeared there, but unfortunately I figured I would get out of combat and I'd be able to reach in here, but that's just unfortunately not how it happened. So I tried to support the Marauder a little bit here because 2 versus 1 we can still kill somebody, and then it becomes a 2 versus 2, which is not a great situation for us. Try to peel, get a hard stun, and root Devil, so he has to use his roll if he wants to move, which he ends up doing a little bit late. But in this situation, we're just kind of screwed. Normally for this matchup, I don't think our team wins this. Since I'm not lethality, we don't really have that healing potential, and I feel like the lethality operative didn't do a terrible job, but he probably should have been a lot more aggressive in forcing players to hit him instead, like be the solo opener. It'd be a lot better for him to do that because he's able to tank a lot better. But in the end, putting damage into Virulence or lethality first is really just not ideal, and we want to kind of outnumber them if we can, because that's a really difficult situation to deal with, because lethality can do damage, but when it has multiple people on it, it's not really doing anything. It's a lot less useful. A lot of classes are still pretty good in a 1vx situation, like Rage and AP, stuff like that. Even Sniper's pretty okay depending on the situation, if you roll ambush and whatnot. Some classes can just do optimal damage still while under attack. and some other ones just do no damage while under attack. A lot of the finesse of a lot of those classes is experience to actually still maintain your damage in that window. In this situation, I actually get a sap on Devil, which is perfect for me. I really wanted to get a sap in the first round, but it wasn't really possible. There's one thing that you really have to worry about with your team. It's like, you know, if you have predation, it's very easy to get into combat. Being a sap is not really possible. Here we get a, I think it's like an Rage Crush kill there. I think he's able to execute from that percentage of health, which is pretty nice. Normally you're not probably going to get that, but we do have some bursty damage that's going to allow that to happen. This means that we still have Marauder alive. We want to get the PT out as soon as we can. Unfortunately, roll into Devil's roll, which is not great for us, but they are down and we're up, so, and they're not chasing. It's a lot better for us. That means they have a delayed chase and they've just sacrificed their Juggernaut without capitalizing on it. Now they're hunting for the Marauder. Thankfully the Marauder has already got something still, so it's not that big of a deal. They kind of threw instead of going down to chase after him, but that's fine. In this situation, I don't want to get caught out, so I jump down. I get a little bit of a heal. He phase walks to hit the Marauder here. I kind of already knew like something like that was going to happen, so just being down here is just good for me. So I'm able to support him and try to make sure that's not a 2v1. And all he has to really do is just buy time. My stun is back up now. I'll be able to trade. He can go stealth again. It's still a scary situation for me, but I get a hard stun off here, so I don't really have to worry. Get my combo off. He's going to go for a knock, I already know, so I root him. He still tries to get the knock off, but he's just late. Had he been a little bit faster, he probably could have evasioned to get rid of the root and then stop me. He should have definitely known that I was going to root him. I take a little risk there, and that corrosive assault from that guy actually hit me really hard. I wonder if he's running the auto crit for that, because that was kind of crazy. But other than that, typically it's just knowing your class and knowing what you can push. In this situation, it's not great for Concealment, and they should win. They have so much more damage, but being able to split them up and lower the damage just causes us to win. Anyway, if you have any more questions about Concealment, I'll be more than happy to help, but also at the same time, it's relatively simple, and uptime is key for your defensive power. If you're not able to maintain uptime, if you're not able to lacerate somebody, you are so squishy. Like, it's not a great class to be playing, or I guess spec to be playing. Anyway, catch you guys again soon.